Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, June 30th, 2020. Hey, it's high noon. It's halfway through the year. We're 26 weeks into the year. Man, what a year it's been. Week 26 is upon us. And believe it or not, 2 years ago today, if you remember what happened 2 years ago today, we had that major rainstorm that dumped between 6 and 10 inches of rain up in northern Polk County, devastated the rivers and many neighborhoods. 6 hours of rain. It was just awful. So thankfully, it doesn't look like we're going to have a start to July like this. Gosh, nothing else is happening. So it looks like we're ready to start a new month with nothing much going on, right? So anyway, hey, welcome to the show. It's Des Moines Real Estate Market Update for week 26. My name is Les Solgrove. I'm with Via Realtors, and let's jump right in. We're going to talk today a little bit about kind of what's gone on for the first 6 months and just kind of give you an idea of where we've been and where we're headed here. The first graphic here is our year-to-date homes for sale, and it's quite interesting that we're still seeing such low inventory. The light green line you see on the screen here is the 2020 homes for sale on a daily count, and then it's overlaid with 2019 in the darker line, and you can see that about late April or so, third week of April, we kind of swapped and inventory started to fall as home buyers really started to enter the market and sellers really have not. We could really use more home inventory this year. This is just getting crazy. At the end of Sunday, which was the end of our 26th week, we had 2,890 homes on the market, and that was, almost, well, just almost a full 1,000 fewer than we had a year ago. And I will tell you, as of yesterday, I was looking at the count to see what our all-time low was, and prior to yesterday we were at 2,844. So that would have been June 29th, yesterday. We were at 2,844 homes for sale, and that is our 11-year low. We've never been below this count in the last 11 years, and I don't know whether we're going to get below that yet today or not. We'll find out when I do the end of day stats today. But the last time we were this low was in 2017 and then in 2016, and I'll show you that here on this screen. You can see here's where we are, this line coming across, and this was in 2017 when we actually hit close to that amount, and we're actually below this now as of yesterday. And the question is why is our inventory so low? And there's a lot of speculation that is sellers that are just maybe not putting their homes on the market. Obviously the buyers are out there. Obviously we're still seeing homes come on the market because the buyers are buying, which you'll see in a second when I get into the sell pending stats. But I just don't think we're seeing enough new homes, enough new listing inventory hitting the MLS here as we go into our delayed spring market. We're well into summer, but we're really still acting like a really heavy spring market. So the high number on this graphic was all the way back June, let's see, in 2010. It looks like it was probably about spring of 2010 when we had 3,616 homes on the market. That's this area right over here. So we've come, we have quite a bit fewer homes on the market, quite a much lower inventory than we've had for several years here. So what's really kind of driving some of this inventory dropping is the fact that home buyers are basically snapping up almost every home that comes on the market. And as of last Sunday, we had 3,556 homes in pending status, which, that's a record in itself, which you'll see in a second here. A year ago, we were sitting at 2,578. So over, about 1,000 homes more that are in there waiting to close. And I'll tell you that closing companies right now, the escrow companies and the lenders, they're struggling to keep up with this kind of business. what might appear to be, some lack of communication is just probably the fact that they just are working day and night. I know I'm getting communication from lenders on the weekends and the evenings right now for closings that are coming up. They're just working that many hours. So with 3,556 homes to close, that's going to tell a big story as we move into July and August. As far as the closed transactions, we're going to see those numbers come up quite a bit. And so if you look at, again, if this is sale pendings going all the way back to 2009, and the line across the top is our high point, in which we're currently in right now with that 3,500 plus homes waiting to close. The closest we were to that was just around 3,200 homes back in 2016. And it's just amazing that we have this many homes on the market. So if we look at months of inventory here, this is a layover graphic here showing you 2019 versus 2020. 2019 is the blue line and 2020 is the green. As of last Sunday, we're at 1.5 months of inventory, meaning, if no new homes came on the market, it would take us about 1.5 months to get rid of all the homes we have for sale. And that includes new construction, resale, single family, condo townhomes, all those properties are there. So um, if we have time at the end here, I might jump right into my spreadsheet and actually show you some other numbers here. But 1.5 months is very, very, very low inventory. So compared to almost 3 months a year ago. And you notice these indications over here at the left in March. That's about when COVID-19 really kind of took hold of our market. And you can kind of see after that, it was a little slow to react, but once it did, now we're back heavily into this seller's market at 1.5 months. And if we look at that again, back going to that 11-year across the board look here, we're in uncharted territory. The lowest we have ever been with all property types. Now, if you take into account just single family or condo townhome single resales and things like that, we're lower than 1 month or close to 1 month inventory. But if you take into account new construction and everything, this is as low as we've been in inventory. Again, months of inventory going back all the way to 2019. So kind of uncharted territory for 2020. It's just going to be a year that I hope we never see the situation again, but I don't know how long these effects are going to linger. If we move into the fall, what's going to happen with home inventory. Our housing shortage, which is really causing this, and this is the whole issue here, is our housing shortage. You can see that this is breaking down condo townhome new construction, which is the kind of the yellow orange line at the top. The gray line is single family new construction. Condo townhome resale is the darker orange here. Those are all hovering right around, just under, a little bit of a shortage for the townhome resale and the single family new construction. But man, look at the single family resale. We're at one point we were 4,000 homes short of having enough inventory to make this a balanced market. And a balanced market in our area is considered between 4 and 6 months of home inventory. So it would take today it would take 3,800 more homes coming on the market in single family resale properties just to bring us into a balanced market. And we currently have, I don't know, probably 2,800. I'll be able to tell you that here in a second. 2,800 or so single family resale homes on the market right now, and we'd need over 3,800 more of those just to bring us into a balanced market. So that just tells you the dire need that we have for more homes for sale. Now, one thing that's giving me a lot of confidence, though, in our market is the back on the market. And back on the market is kind of like a measure of how strong the buyers are, how strong our real estate market is. This is, again, an overlay market graphic of 2019 to 2020. The orangish line there is 2019, and 2020 is the purple line or the dark line. And you can see that as of the end of last week, we only had 13% of our homes that were going under contract were falling apart and coming back on the market. So a 13% back on market rate is as low as I think I've seen. I didn't start tracking this until 2019. So at least in the last 2 years, this is as low as we've ever been. A year ago, we were at 21%. So 1 in 5 homes were coming back on the market last year. Now we're coming up on, a little over 1 in 10 coming back. And that's really, if you think of the market as an engine, we're burning, pretty lean. We're doing very, very good. The engine's running really smooth in that respect. So at 13%. One thing I did want to point out that I kind of noticed this week, and this is single family resale, because I took it out of the whole market inventory and just looking at single family resale, because this brings up the majority of our market inventory. And you kind of notice that when COVID-19 hit, our pricing average, or our median list price, kind of stalled out. And what we would typically see in a normal year is this number kind of start to rise as the upper market homes start to come on the market, the resale properties. Well, it kind of stalled out until about week 20 or week 19, at which point we kind of started to get a little bit of a push, but then it stalled again until just this past week. And you notice that for the last month or so, we had been around 275,000 for the median list price of homes. And this past week, we saw a couple stair steps jumping here, going up to almost 285,000. So we've increased our single family resale pricing median price by about 10,000, which what that basically means is that we're starting now, if this continues, we're starting now to see some more of that higher priced inventory start to enter the market, which is what we really, really need, because we need that mid to upper price point to come on the market to give the move up buyers a place to buy, and then which will also then, once those move up buyers start to find a place to buy, they'll enter the market and allow that first time home buyer market to kind of jump in again. So this is really kind of key, that we start to see a little higher median list price. Obviously, it's not reflected down here in the median pending price or median sell price yet, but that'll come because this is all a trailing. These are trailing numbers here. This one up here is actually our current median list pricing. So I'll be watching this number the next few weeks pretty hard to see if we continue to see this go up. If we start to see this number go up, then it's just logical to say we're going to start to see months of inventory start to go up a little bit, rise. We'll start to see some of that shortage of inventory start to go away as well. It just depends, I guess, on how fast the buyers get out there and start to eat that inventory up. But just interesting numbers this year for sure. So here's our weekly open house counts. Last weekend we had a little dip in the single family resale. We only had 104 single family opens last week. We're back up to 240. 240 is the most we've had in single family in the resale inventory, going all the way back to week 11 when we had 287. So new construction is still up there around another close to 500. I think we're starting to see open houses kind of come back. Now we've had some kind of negative news in around the country about some assaults at open houses. So will that affect open houses? I don't know. We'll see here. But at least in our marketplace, we're starting to see open houses kind of pick back up. And if we look across the way here, as we go across the rest of the summertime, we tend to see open houses kind of level off. The dip we'll see next week will be 4th of July weekend, with the 4th being on this weekend. We're most definitely going to see a drop in open houses this coming week. And but then we'll pick right back up again. So the dips you see from last year, this is 4th of July, this was Labor Day, and then we get into the fall and we start to see open houses rise when sellers are getting really serious about getting their houses sold. They really want that extra exposure. So the dashboard again is out there every week. This is all found at Simply Des Moines Stats on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, just search simply Des Moines Stats. You'll find this dashboard. You'll find all of the graphics you've just seen today and many, many more out there. I post those on Sunday night or Monday morning, and they're in the photo sets there on that Simply Des Moines Stats on Facebook page. And so it's a great resource for you guys to go back and kind of see what the market's done here. And occasionally we'll focus on what happened in the weekly pending and new listings added. Really not much to talk about this week, so we're just going to keep on moving and kind of end this program today here real quick with kind of an announcement that moving forward, I'm going to drop this back to a monthly live report, or as market conditions warrant. So if we will have a report next Tuesday, the 7th. I'm going to continue it on the 7th for this next week. So next Tuesday, July 7th, I'll be back. And at that point, I'm going to go through kind of what happened at the end of the month for June, because this is the actual last day of the month, and I don't have my stats pulled yet for the end of the month. So next Tuesday, I will spend a bit of time talking about what happened in June, plus kind of take a look at some of the key stats that we're watching here. For example, that median list price, to see if that's on the rise or not. And then at that point, unless something, the market changes or something warrants a live report, I will probably go around that second Tuesday or that first or second Tuesday of the month, each month moving forward here with a live report, just to give you an idea of what's happened with not only month end, but also on the weekly basis. However, I will be doing the graphics. So if you are still willing to follow the graphics, I'll put the graphics out each week at Simply Des Moines Stats. I'm just going to hold off on the weekly live reports, backing that down to about once a month here, unless conditions warrant. So with that said, it's about 15 minutes in. This is a good tight show today. If you have any questions, please send them my way by email, lesolgrove@viarealtors.com. And appreciate your support and your followings every week. I'm getting good traffic, so I know you guys are watching. Today's show will premiere at 3 p.m. on Facebook Live, so hope you'll join that at 3 p.m. on Facebook Live if you didn't get in when this first started today. Otherwise, we'll talk to you soon, and thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.